Behavioural interview questions are probably the toughest type of question to answer correctly in a job interview. Questions such as, tell me about a time when you received criticism that you thought was unfair. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake. And also, tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Those are really difficult interview questions to answer correctly. However, if you have a job interview coming up soon for any role or organisation, you will have to answer them. So make sure you stay tuned, watch the presentation from start to finish, because I promise to help you be the standout candidate. And to achieve that goal, this is what I'm going to cover. So I will give you a list of tough behavioural interview questions I strongly recommend you prepare for. I will then give you example scripted answers to all of the questions to help you pass your job interview. I will also give you the perfect structure to use, an easy to remember structure that you can use when answering any type of behavioural interview question. And I will then tell you how you can access further downloadable resources, including the answers, to help you be the standout candidate at your job interview. And just very quickly, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Literally thousands of you are passing your job interviews, and I don't want you to miss out. I can only help you if you are subscribed. And please give the video a like, because that tells me you find these tutorials useful, and also it motivates me to create more content for you. Thank you very much. So to begin with, how do you answer behavioural interview questions? Well, my advice is to make sure you use the STAR technique. Take a note of this. Now, STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. Now, the STAR technique is recognized by all hiring managers. It's a brilliant format to use when answering any type of behavioural interview question. And it allows you to easily remember your scenarios and your answers. And also, it will help you to get the highest scores possible for each answer to the behavioural interview questions. So we need to utilize this when responding to all of the questions in this tutorial. So just to recap, when using the STAR technique of situation, task, action, and result, you start off your answer to the interview question and you tell the interviewer the situation you were faced with. You then move on and briefly explain the task you had to complete. You then give in-depth details, specific details about the action you took to achieve that task, and you then finish off with the result following your actions. So whenever you are answering any type of behavioural interview question, whatever it is, make sure you use the STAR technique of situation, task, action, and result. So let's now start working through some tough behavioural interview questions and top scoring answers that make really good use of the STAR technique. So I will give you the question, I will give you a really important tip for answering it, and I will then give you a powerful scripted answer that uses the STAR technique. Tough behavioural interview question number 1 is, tell me about a time when you received criticism that you thought was unfair. Now, if you get asked this question during your interview, you're going to be sitting there thinking, how do I answer this? Well, let me tell you how. First of all, a tip. When responding to this tough behavioural interview question, demonstrate to the interviewer you are a mature and professional employee who is willing to take on board feedback to improve despite it appearing to be unfair. So here's a great example scripted answer that uses a STAR technique to help you pass your interview. Here we go. Tell me about a time when you received criticism that you thought was unfair. In a previous role, my manager spoke to me about how long I was speaking to customers for on the telephone. Now, I was trying to build up a positive rapport with our customers to help improve sales. However, my manager said I was taking too long. Now, although I felt the criticism was unfair, simply because I was trying to help the company, it was my task to take on board his feedback to improve. Now, I explained to my manager that I was trying to improve customer relations, but that I fully understood there was a need to act with speed because other customers were waiting on the line that also needed my assistance. Now, after reflecting on my performance, I made changes as per my manager's instructions, and this improved the speed of my call handling rates, meaning I could help and assist more customers. That's a brilliant answer, and it shows that you are prepared to take on board feedback and you also understand why it is so important. Now, don't go anywhere, because obviously I've still got many more behavioural interview questions and answers to give you. But when you're ready, you can click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 27 behavioural interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones we are covering today during this tutorial. Let's now take a look at tough behavioural interview question number 2. This is another really difficult question to answer correctly. Tell me about a time when you had to do something differently and what was the outcome? Now, this behavioural interview question is assessing how adaptable you are when difficult situations arise. Give an answer that shows you managed to successfully overcome a difficult challenge in the workplace. Here's a great example answer to help you. Tell me about a time when you had to do something differently and what was the outcome? Here we go. I was working in a previous role as part of a team project. Now, it was our task to build a website for an important client. However, partway through the project, we lost an important team member due to illness. He was our graphic designer, and there was still plenty of graphic design work still to be done on the project. Now, not being deterred by this setback, I decided to use my initiative and think of alternative ways of working to still get the website project completed on time. Now, after assessing the options, I decided to place an advert on the website upwork.com for a graphic designer who could work remotely to create the artwork we needed. Now, 10 high-quality graphic designers responded to the advert, and after I had chosen the most suitable one, I gave him a detailed and concise brief, and he then set to work. Now, by using a different method of working, I was able to overcome a challenge that had the potential to derail the project and get the website finished on time and to the client's specification. That's another really good answer, and you can see how effective the STAR technique is: situation, task, action, and result. It enables you to give a thorough and concise answer to the most difficult of behavioural interview questions. Let's now take a look at tough behavioural interview question number 3. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. This has to be the most common of behavioural interview questions. It comes up during virtually all job interviews. Make sure you have a really good answer prepared. Now, this tough behavioural interview question is designed to assess whether you can collaborate with other people in an unselfish manner. Now, in your answer, demonstrate you understand the importance of always putting the needs of the team first in everything you do. Here's another great example answer to help you pass your interview. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Here we go. In a previous role, I was part of a team whose responsibility it was to come up with innovative ways to promote a new company product that had just launched. Now, I suggested we should hold a team meeting to brainstorm different ideas, because by doing so, we would have many different options at the end of the session, and at least one of them would help us to achieve our objectives. During the team meeting, there was no hierarchy. I encouraged everyone to put forward ideas, and no suggestion was off limits. Team members who were normally shy were given plenty of opportunity to contribute. At the end of the meeting, we had 5 outstanding ideas for promoting the company product. Now, these included online advertising through social media, running a contest for our loyal customers to win one of the new products, and a targeted radio advertising campaign. That's a really good example answer that shows you thoroughly understand the importance of working effectively in a team. Tough behavioural interview question number 4 is: tell me about a time when you made a mistake. This is another really difficult one, but do not say in your answer that you've never made a mistake when you respond to this question. Instead, show you are the type of person who takes ownership of their mistakes and takes positive action to improve and develop. So here's a great example answer to help you. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake. I am the type of person who tries to learn from every mistake. Now, when I started work in my last role, I was eager to impress, but I took on too many tasks and responsibilities without first considering how long each one would take. Now, although it was my job to make sure everything was completed on time, I ended up missing an important deadline due to the workload I had committed to, which was entirely my mistake. After I had apologised to my manager for missing the deadline, I started putting systems in place to make sure the same situation never happened again. I kept a priority list of tasks I was responsible for and the time it would take to complete each one. And by using a more methodical and considered approach to task completion, I could safely take on additional responsibilities, knowing everything would be successfully completed on time and as requested. So that's another really good answer that shows you are not afraid to own up to your mistakes, you apologize for them, and you then put positive action in place to make sure they never happen again. Tough behavioural interview question number 5 is, tell me about a time when you multitasked. Now, being able to successfully complete multiple tasks is a key workplace skill required in virtually all job roles. My advice is to make sure you give a specific answer that demonstrates you have the ability to prioritize and finish multiple tasks on time and to the expected standard. So here's another great example answer to help you. Tell me about a time when you multitasked. Here we go. My manager asked for a volunteer to cover the work of a co-worker who was off sick for several weeks. I volunteered to be that person. Now, it was my task to make sure my own work and the work of my co-worker was completed on time. I started out by writing a priority list of the tasks that needed my attention, and any tasks that were not urgent, I would leave until the end of the day. Now, there were several of my co-workers' tasks that I was unsure how to complete, so I carried out some research and found out the most efficient way to tackle them. And by prioritizing tasks correctly, by remaining calm, and by taking the initiative to learn the tasks I was unsure of, I was able to successfully complete 2 people's work on time and to the required standard. So that's another really good example answer that's going to help you pass your interview. Tough behavioural interview question number 6 is, tell me about a time when you failed to meet a deadline. Now, this is another tough behavioural interview question to answer correctly. However, in your response, give a situation where you missed a deadline due to challenging circumstances, but explain what you did to improve and learn from the experience. Here's a great example answer to help you. Tell me about a time when you failed to meet a deadline. In my last role, I was working as part of a team on a difficult time-sensitive project. Now, it was our task to get the project completed on time, despite the many challenges that were present. Now, 7 days before the project deadline, 2 members of staff went off sick with COVID. We tried our hardest to get the project finished. I and several other team members put in extra hours, and we outsourced several tasks to online contractors. However, despite the team's best efforts, we missed the deadline by 24 hours. Now, I learned a lot from that situation. Now, whenever I am part of a team project or task, I always put contingency plans in place before starting work to compensate for problems whenever they occur. This includes making sure we have backup from other departments in the organisation if needed at short notice. That's a great example answer to that behavioural interview question. Tell me about a time when you failed to meet a deadline. Now, the next thing to do if you want to pass your interview is click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 27 behavioural interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones we have worked through together today. It's a great resource. You can literally have it within your inbox within 2 minutes from now, and it's going to put you ahead of the competition at your interview. Make sure you check out that page. As I say, click the link in the top right-hand corner of the video. Thank you very much. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's really important because I can help you not just pass every job interview you ever attend. I can also help you to get promoted and also negotiate a pay rise or get the salary you deserve. Please give the video a like. That tells me you find these tutorials useful, and don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It's always good to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your interview. Have a great day.